Welcome to episode 51 of the Autumn Acorn Knits. My name is Judy. I am a knit and crochet wear designer, indie yarn dyer, and course creator living in the forest of New Hampshire. I am an HSP and an introvert, or otherwise known as a highly sensitive introvert, who also likes to help other highly sensitive introverts learn how to cope with their senses. And if they want to, learn how to start a creative business with the proper messaging that won't make you feel like a slimy salesperson. So if you're interested in that, please check out my website, autumnacorn.com. You can also find me very active on Instagram as the Autumn Acorn. I'm also on Ravelry and Etsy, all as the Autumn Acorn. Thank you for joining us. I'm coming to you from the living room today, which is really unusual, and I think it's only happened once before. But when Joe is away, I feel like I can kind of take over and set up lights and, do my thing, and it doesn't disturb what he's working on. Plus, I like it when no one can hear me talking to myself, even though I know I'm talking to you. Sometimes it just feels like I'm talking to myself. It can be awkward. It took me a while to get used to it. Before, I would never podcast when Joe was home. I only did it when he was gone. And then I just was like, this is ridiculous. And so I started to podcast when he was home. And it was fine, but I'm still so much more comfortable alone. This thing looks really crooked. What's up with that? There we go. Are you one of those people that if there's a crooked picture hanging on the wall or something, you have to fix it? You can't even get by without fixing it first? I'm like that. Today I have for you some works in progress, a finished project, two finished projects rather, and no, I have more than that. I have some small finished projects that are not knitting, but we'll count them. And I have to announce the winner of the 50th episode giveaway. So that's really exciting. There were a lot of entries. I announced the winner of the Instagram giveaway for the 50th episode a couple weeks ago, but I said I would announce this one when I podcast next, and the two vlogs that I put out recently don't count as podcasting. So here we go. Let's start with works in progress. So this first project, which I'm keeping in my beautiful basket with handles, which I love. This is a design that I'm working on, my own design. Oh, and these are my point protectors so that my stitches don't fall off. These are metal needles, and I am working with mohair, and everything is so slippery that I had been looking for some all-natural cork end protectors. I used to have a different type, and I ran out of them. So I've been looking for some new ones to sell, and I found a way to make these with my own borer. That's the name of it. And these sweet little balls, knitting balls. I don't know what I'm going to call them yet. I'm still working on making sure I'm happy with the design, that they don't slip off. So far they do not slip off at all. Like, I'm really rough with them, just to test them out. And I have another type that I'm going to try out as well. Just not ready. They're not ready yet, but I'm just testing them out until I think that they're a great product to sell. So stay tuned for those. But anyway, that was a tangent. This is what I'm calling, now let me make sure, yes, Snowy Owl Blanket. So here it is. Whoops, it's really hard to show. It's not a very big blanket. It's more of a throw. Oh, no, this is where I was last time that I worked on it. And I am holding 2 strands of yarn. So I have some undyed mohair silk in lace weight, as well as well, I'll show it to you in the skein. This lovely skein of Aran Weight, Superwash Merino, and Donegal Nep. So this is a tweed. Undyed. Both of these are undyed. And oh, they're just so soft and squishy together. This makes the most beautiful fabric to just cuddle up in. And I am knitting this for, I'm not even going to say because maybe she's watching. I'm knitting this for a family member for her birthday. So I do have to get this finished in the next few months. But I'm so happy with how it's coming out. I was really going to town on this until, oh, Meryl, you just moved the camera, honey. Until other projects got in the way, and you know how that is. That's nothing new with me. But yeah, so just basic lace, and I don't know when this is going to be ready, but I'm sure this pattern will be released at least for the fall. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's a nice project to just pick up, do a few rows, and then move on to something else. Okay, my next work in progress is a new design. It doesn't have a name yet. I'm using some gorgeous yarn that was gifted to me by my youngest daughter. Here it is. You may have seen this on the last vlog. It is, I don't want to bump the bra. It's by Holly Press Fibers. And the color is Autumn Bliss. And it is blissful. I love it so much. Pairing that with, it came with two minis. This beautiful one that matches perfectly with a nice long hair on it. And this one as well, which is right here. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And then I'm using this mohair that I dyed up a couple of months ago in this gorgeous purpley lavender with some darker shades in it of plum. And I'm not going to show you much, just maybe this top part for now. There it is. This is where I started this morning. And this is what I got done. Now I'm on to the lace part. I'm wearing my next finish object. This is my Tenderhearted Tee, which is the second version that I've knit. I also knit a version with where the main color was a brown tweed. You may remember it had more warm autumn tones, and this was more of a spring color selection, whatever you want to call it. And I will be releasing this pattern this Thursday, May 6th. I'm so excited. I love this pattern. Not to sound conceited, but I just find that it is one of those knits that you want to keep working on and you don't ever want to end. That's how I felt about it. That's why I made a second one right away. And a lot of my test knitters, hey, if you're watching, everyone, you guys, amazing job at this test knit. It was amazing. I loved every minute of it. It was zero stress, and you all made it so helpful. So thank you. And anyway, a lot of them also have already chosen their colors for their second version because it was such a fun knit. We worked out any of the little kinks that might have been in it, and the back sits lower than the front because of a little bit of short row shaping in the back. And there's this cute eyelet rib that I've used for the neckline, as well as the sleeves. Now, I made my sleeves go just to my elbow because I don't want my chicken wings to show. And some made their tee, you know, the shorter, they just did a little bit. You don't even need to do sleeves if you don't want to. You can just have like a cap sleeve. Or you can go long sleeve all the way down and make it more of a, you know, a warmer, colder weather wear. Here is the pattern, but it's not quite finished as far as like the formatting and all of that go. But let me tell you a little bit about this pattern. So I knit the size small for this version, and the brown version, the brown tweed version, I knit in a size medium. I used about 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn in a merino blend, and then I used about a half a skein of mohair lace, and then I used 2 80-yard mini skeins in fingering weight for the second contrast color right here. Now, some of the testers didn't use mohair at all. They just stuck with fingering, which is fine. It looks just as beautiful. But I do love a little touch of mohair here and there, so I included it in mine. This pattern starts at extra small, goes up to 4XL, and those chest sizes would be, so for the extra small, that's a 28 to 30 inch, and then it goes all the way up to a 56 to 58 inch. So I think it's pretty size inclusive. Needle size recommended is US size 5. Yeah, and that's it. I love this pattern. I think you're going to love this pattern, and I'm really, really excited to offer it. I was really excited just to name it Tenderhearted because, let's face it, it just fits with the whole highly sensitive personality. So it fits me, and I'm really happy with it. So stay tuned. I will definitely have a coupon code for that release day or release week, whatever you want to call it. So look out for that. If you're not already on the mailing list, I think you should get on it. I try to only email about once a month. I have an email list for the highly sensitive introverts, as well as an email list for just those who are interested in knitting and crocheting information. But if you get on that, the knitting email list, you will know when patterns are released, and you'll always be the first to get coupon codes. So I think that's helpful. Plus, you'll hear from me once in a while. Let's see. That was it for finished knitting projects. However, I also have a crocheting project to show you. And here it is. This is my, what am I calling it? It doesn't have a name. It's just a crochet tote bag with a drawstring. So let's start, we'll start with the reason I even did this in the first place. It's got some things inside of it. The reason I did this in the first place is because I found this leather bottom in my stash, and it already had the holes already pre-cut. So I immediately said, oh, this has to become a tote bag, right? Obviously, it's going to be like a project bag for knitting or crochet. So I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't following a pattern at all. I just attached the bottom and started crocheting. I did half double crochet, and then it's really hard to see on camera, but starting about here, I did some popcorns, and then a few rows later, I did their eyelets. Again, hard to see on camera, but they're there. Then when I got, I kept repeating that sort of pattern and I went as tall as I thought the bag should be to be a really good size so I could hold a blanket or sweater project inside. Then I made a drawstring, and I made this little, what would you call that, to close it. I don't know the name of it. And that keeps it closed. If you want to undo it, you just pull that, I don't know what you call it. It has a name. Lariat? I don't know. Pull it down, and then it'll open up all the way. I used that eyelet, one of the eyelet rows, to thread the oh, excuse me. I have allergies starting. What was I saying? So I used the last eyelet row to house the cord. Then I wanted to buy some leather straps and hardware and all that, but I had a hard time finding exactly what I was looking for. So I went into my own stash and I found a canvas, boy, words. I found a canvas strap from an old travel bag, and I removed this D-ring and this hook from each side and sewed on, or crocheted that onto the bag. Let me start over. I crocheted the handle onto the D-ring, and then I simply attached the hook to the bag, but that's not sturdy enough for me. That's temporary. I'm going to pick up 2 more D-rings at the craft store or the hardware store, wherever they sell them, and attach that D-ring to the bag, then hook in, you know, the little hooky hook, because I wouldn't trust that this would hold for very long. I don't know. I just want it to be very sturdy. The only thing I haven't done for this tote bag is crochet buttons. I'm having a tough time talking today. Crochet pockets inside. Oh, mailman's here. Hold on. Don't you love it when the mailman brings you packages? Look at this. I have 2 packages. I have no idea what I ordered. Oh, this I know is bear yarn. So that one, boy, that was quick. That will go over there. I'll be dyeing a lot of yarn coming up soon because the shop is empty and I just want to update it. This is fun though. Look, it even has a sticker with my name on it. How does that happen? Wait a minute. That's special. That's pretty special. I am going to attempt to open this right now so you could all see what I got, because I do not know what I got. And what are you going to do? Oh, look at this. I'm such a geek for pretty packaging. You? I think it's great. I think it's great when there's extra effort put in. Okay, what is it? Oh my goodness. Oh, my heart. It's a Mother's Day gift. Look. It says Happy Mother's Day. We love you, Sarah and Javen. Oh. And it smells really good. Aw, it's so many goodies. Oh my goodness. Lavender Blossom whipped body butter. Okay, I'm all about that. Wow. Lovely. Some, oh, beautiful. Yep, some for lips. Then we have some, oh, soap. Lavender Bliss. Yes. Beautiful. Oh, how special is this? And then, look at this gorgeous little sweet candle. It says cologne. I can't see that. I don't know what that says. I'm so excited. Aw, Sarah, if you're watching, thank you so much. And Javen, I love you guys. I can't wait to see you. Anyway, that was a side thing. How fun. So, I think I've told you everything about Tenderhearted. And I think I've told you everything I wanted to. Oh no, I didn't tell you what kind of yarn. Yeah. Okay. I used Peace Fleece for this, which I actually think is the coolest part about this bag, because if you know Peace Fleece, you know, and it's a domestic fine wool, 75% Navajo Rambouillet and domestic fine wool with 25% mohair. And there are 200 yards per skein. This is the color Wild Mustard, which I love. I love any fall color, really. I used I didn't use 4 balls because this one is almost full. So I used 3 and a little bit of these skeins. It's a really hardy, it's not scratchy. It's not scratchy, but it's not merino soft at all. So, I mean, I would not have wanted to use a merino for something like this that's going to get a lot of, you know, wear and friction and all. So this seems to be the perfect sturdy yarn. And I used a much smaller crochet hook than would normally be called for this yarn. I have it in here somewhere. So I used a size F. Let me just make sure I'm reading that correctly. Size F or a 5, 3.75 millimeters I used. So it's a small hook. But it made these nice tight stitches that won't allow anything to come out, and it might, I mean, things could easily poke through it, of course, but you can't have everything. So yeah, this was a really fun 2-day project that once I started, I didn't want to stop. I put everything else on hold just to make this, and I'm so happy with it. So glad I could share that with you. All right, moving on to finished objects. This counts. So I told you I've been making some tree bark buttons. This was the first little batch. So here's what they look like when they're finished. And this is maybe an 1.5 inch diameter button. They're different, so depending on the button, there are different widths. Of course, they're different widths, so there's thinner, there's thicker, but they're all about the same size, and they're just so much fun to make. I used to make them a lot and sell them on my Etsy shop, but I was always running out. And then my saw broke, my drop saw, so that didn't help matters. But anyway, this is the next batch I'm going to show you, and they came out of this wood because I have no idea. I'm not great with tree identification, especially when the trees I was gathering didn't have leaves on them. They're fallen branches, and it's hard. I'm just not so good at identifying them yet by the bark. I have no idea what kind of tree these came from. I know this is a hardwood. I can tell by the way they feel and sound. But here is my other jar. These are a bit bigger. I would say these are probably 2 inches in diameter. And they have 4 holes instead of 2. Because they're bigger, I want to make sure that they stay on properly. And some of them are simply decorative and others are functional. So I'll give you an example of one that would be considered decorative. So like this one here would be considered decorative because it has this cool knot in it. So for this, you would just want to maybe, for example, you could attach one to a handbag. That would look gorgeous on a handbag. You might just want to attach one to a sweater, but not to use, just to, you know, look pretty, or a shawl. But anyway, I got quite a few of these finished, cut, drilled, sanded, and polished, and I polished them with beeswax and orange oil. So they smell incredible, and they're just a really cool, all-natural product that I got just from the free natural resources in the backyard, which I love. I love that. So yeah, if you're interested in any kind of tree bark buttons, I'm trying to get a good collection, you know, built up before I offer them for sale so that you have variety. So stay tuned for those. Well, I thought that was the last finished object, but then I remembered a couple more. So this is not a big deal, but this is a linen face cloth with a little, you know, hanger thing that I made for Joe. Special request, because I made a couple of washcloths for him for Christmas, but they were smaller. They were probably, I don't know, maybe this size. And he's like, you know, I'd really love a bigger, he's a big guy, I'd really love a bigger cloth. So I made sure this one would be like whole body. But anyway, I told him he could not use it until I showed you. But this was just simply knit. Small needles, I think size US 1, garter stitch with a linen, beautiful linen, I think it's a linen cotton blend to be honest. And then I crocheted the little loop using my new crochet hook that I carved. Here it is. I'm quite proud of this. It's long. Here's the head. And I carved this out of a stick using the new Swiss Army knife book that Joe got me, and the Swiss Army knife, just the smallest blade. It was so relaxing and so enjoyable to do this that I definitely want to do more. But I entered this into Caitlin of the Cozy Moth Knits podcast. I entered this into her Sprout New Skills Mal that's going on. That's been going on. You could enter anything related to fiber arts that's a new skill for you. And for me, obviously crocheting is not a new skill. However, whittling is a new skill. So I now know how to whittle a little bit. And I plan to do more because, like I said, it was really fun. It was really nice to exercise a different part of my brain, you know, instead of always fiber. So yep, those two things are also finished objects. And there's still one more. I've been busy, what can I say? And you guys are crooked again. There we are. So this last project, I don't even think I've shown you, other than Instagram, any of it, because I didn't expect to start it. It was, well, I'll explain. So I love watching this podcast that I discovered recently called Jennbug, Handmade Crafts. Jennifer Saliba Bishop is the lovely hostess of that podcast. She's a sweetheart, and I just really enjoy her show. She has a newer podcast. It's just amazing. I love what she makes. And she's also a knitwear designer. So I was watching her last episode, this was a couple episodes ago, and she had announced that she had written a new recipe. You'll know why I said that in a minute. A new pattern for a shawl called Rainbow. I just give up. I can't talk. It's okay, brain. Raincoats and recipes. And here it is. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I don't even remember how this all came about, but Jen was so kind and she said she wanted to gift me her pattern before it was even released. And in turn, I said I would be, you know, happy to like test it out, see if I ran into any issues, which I did not. And I just love this shawl. So I used my own yarn that I dyed, and this is what's left of my main color. Little messy little yarn ball there. Let me get the tag for that. So this was an 84% superwash merino, 16% cotton with Donegal nep in it, which I thought this was a slub yarn because it has these neps, these bunches, and I thought this was considered slub, but I realize now that it's not, and the pattern does call for a slub yarn. And a mohair, or actually a Surrey, because you know how mohair and Surrey silk are similar? It calls for a slub yarn. I didn't use that, but I did use something with little bumps, so I think it's close. And then I didn't have any Surrey alpaca, but I did have some silk mohair. And again, it worked out really well in this pattern. Here's the green that I dyed naturally of the mohair silk. So let me show you what we have. It is gorgeous. Doop, 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 doop. Now, if Jen, if you're watching, you might notice that my shawl is a bit shorter than your shawls. And it's just because I think when I was starting out that I may have added on some extra rows. I don't know, I did something. I know it was me, I know it wasn't the pattern. The pattern's really, really well written, but I ended up being a little nervous that I was going to run out, so I really could have gone on another couple rows. But I just decided it was good, I was happy with it, and I was going to leave it there and not, you know, not risk it. Not risk ending in a weird place or anything like that. I'm trying to find the front because honestly both sides are equally beautiful. I love the lace sections have like, they look like umbrellas, and it's just such a cute pattern. Such a cute pattern. I'm just not good at wearing shawls, as y'all know. But I can give you an idea. No, that's not how you do it. Okay. Yep, that's what you do. Remember? Now you remember. It's been a while. So, here we have Raincoats and Recipes by Jennbug Crafts, Jennbug Handmade Crafts, Jennifer Saliba Bishop. I will put all the information here and down in the show notes. No, down in the down bar, down there where you can find more information about the podcast, you will see everything you need. Isn't it gorgeous though? I love it so much, and the squish factor is out of this world. Combining this garter stitch with this lace and in the mohair is like the perfect combination. So, yes, I absolutely love this. And then, as if giving me a pattern wasn't sweet enough, Jen sent me a gift to thank me for, you know, testing her pattern. And you gotta see this. It's so freaking cute. Look at it. It's cheap. And it's got this beautiful canvas handle. And it's a good size too. Like this will fit a lot of stuff. It has the sweetest fabric on the inside too. It's like farmhouses. It's so perfect. I love it, love it, love it. And she sent the sweetest card, but I'll just show you her. Look at that. She's got her own. Look at the back. That's her logo. I just love it. So again, thank you, Jen. You're the sweetest. I can't wait to meet you someday. I know we're going to. And I love your pattern. Your gift was so heartwarming, and thank you. That's all. Thank you. So you should definitely check out her podcast if you don't already know. Jennbug Handmade. And I will be warm if I wear 2 knits today. Boy, that will not be great for me. Where are we now? I think we are up to acquisitions. So I did show, and I will not go into detail, I did show a few of these things on the last vlog, so if you want to see any of that, you can check it out. But I received a book for my birthday, which I know a lot of you have heard of, the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. Beautiful, beautiful book. I highly recommend this. I do have a little bit of trouble with lace, and you know, a lot of these are, but a lot of them are also just cables. So I need to improve on that, and I want to improve, so I'm going to. But oh, it's just full, page after page, of these gorgeous designs. So this was from my daughter Kelly. Love this so much. And then I also picked up, this was recommended by my tech editor, this knitwear design book. Boy, that shadow. Got a shadow. Knitwear Design Workshop by Shirley Payton. Very good book. Highly recommend. And this last one, Colorwork Stitches, over 250 designs to knit. I like this book. I don't love it. I think there are other colorwork books that I probably could have gotten if I had taken my time and researched a little more. But it does have some nice designs in it that I will use someday when I design my first colorwork project. So that one. I also won. I won something so special. So I don't know if you know about the app Bellish, that you can basically design sweaters and things and hats in. It's a really awesome free app that I highly recommend you check out. But anyway, I belong to I subscribe to their newsletter, and there was one day when I saw that they needed some surveys filled out, and you could enter to, just by filling out your survey, you would enter to win a $50 gift card. And I did, and I won. 9 other ladies and I won out of like a lot of people. So I felt very, very special that day. And so I went and immediately spent my $50, and it had to be at Knit Picks, which is fantastic. So I ended up getting 3 of these mini skein packs of Stroll sock yarn. So I ended up picking out Iceberg. Show you those colors. Sorry about the glare. Some beautiful, like, cool blues and creams. Aquarium. I opened Aquarium so I could feel them. Oh, they're so soft and squishy. Here are all the beautiful colors in Aquarium. And last, I chose Terrarium. I wanted to get some greens in there as well. So pretty. So all of them together are going to end up being some sort of design. I do not know what it will be yet, but I'm starting to search for some ideas. But that was so exciting. I don't always win things. Like, I have won a couple of things, but it's pretty infrequent, so very, very exciting. Another acquisition that I purchased, and I need to tell you who made this because it's really beautiful. Here we are. I ordered this handmade tank top knit with pure cotton from Etsy. The name of the company is Luxury Knit Inc., and they are in Brooklyn, New York. And I kid you not when I tell you I paid less than $20 for this hand knit cotton tank, including shipping. I don't even know how it's possible that you could knit something for that price, but I took advantage of her sale and I love it. It fits me beautifully. And look at it. Now, here's the back, or here, I think this is the back. In the pictures on Etsy, the model was wearing, or even if the model wasn't wearing, it was being held up where the lace was in the front. However, I immediately noticed when I received it that the back is much shorter than the front. And at first I'm like, well, that's weird. Maybe you wear it, this way. And you could. There's no reason you couldn't because it's reversible. But I didn't. I wore it with this way in the front. And I thought it was really interesting how it sat on my body. So I thought, okay, this is kind of cool, a little different, a little out there, and I like it. But I also like the option that if I want to wear the more plain side on the front, I can. But it fits me so well, and I love it. I think I got the size medium. Now, she still has this listing on her website. It's not at the clearance price or the sale price, but it's still like $25. It's just so reasonable. I don't even think you could pick up the yarn for that price. So if you're looking for a beautiful summer and spring tank to add to your wardrobe, I highly recommend Luxury Knit Inc. Okay, it's giveaway time. So, out of, 185 entries, I believe, the winner was Wildflower. Here is what you're gonna win. Yay! Thank you so much for participating in that giveaway. Your comments meant the world to me. I really wish I could reply to every single one. Sometimes I'm able to, sometimes I just can't, but please know that I read every single comment, and every single time it makes me so happy. So thank you. Thank you for leaving messages. I love having a conversation with you. If you don't hear back from me, it doesn't mean that I don't care. I absolutely care so much. So thank you. Whew. I'm out of breath. I think just going upstairs caused it. So anyway, I want to congratulations to Wildflower for winning this giveaway. Please reach out to me with your mailing address and I'll ship this off ASAP so that you can knit something. I've been enjoying some new podcasts, and let me tell you about them. So the first one is a mother and daughter duo. I'm trying to find the name of it because I don't want to say the wrong name. Here we are. Knit My Way Home. And Loretta is the mom and Natalia is the daughter. And I missed how old Natalia is, but if I were to guess, I think she's probably 12, if that. She's very young, but very mature and an excellent knitter, as is her mom. And they podcast from the snowy Yukon, believe it or not. And this is the first podcast I've seen from the Yukon, but they podcast outside in the snow, like on a mountain or something. It looks beautiful wherever they're podcasting from. And it's lovely. I absolutely enjoy it. There's only a couple of episodes out so far, but it's a very special podcast, and I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it. So hi Loretta, hi Natalia. I appreciate you guys so much. The other podcast that I've really been enjoying, and again, it's a newer podcast, is called The Republic of Me with Ivana. And Ivana is a very thoughtful podcaster, very calming podcaster. She's really real. I enjoy her pearls of wisdom that she provides. And I know in her last episode, she had mentioned that she thinks that many of us will experience PTSD when we come out of COVID. And she just brought that up, it really, it struck me. I hadn't thought about that this was a very traumatic year for so many people. And yeah, PTSD is a real thing that could definitely happen. But I was just wondering what have you done to help to keep yourself calm during this difficult year? What are some of the techniques or little tricks that you've done to help with that? And mine never changes. I've been working on, self-care for years now, and just managing my senses. And I'm getting really good at it. I'm learning so much about my limits and triggers and how to, if I can't avoid a stressful situation, how I can recover and how I can plan for time to recover from that. So, but I was just curious. I know for me personally, having beautiful things around is very calming for me. So my environment matters tremendously. Having less clutter and just beautiful things. I don't mean expensive things. I just mean things that are special to you that bring you joy. And knitting and crocheting and crafting and getting outside, those have been my lifesavers. I'm just curious what has helped you get through this. And I'm so relieved to be on the other side of it. I have my daughter coming to visit with her children. My granddaughters are coming soon, next week. We just had guests over. It's like, I'm just so relieved to have the vaccine, and have Joe vaccinated, and just, it's just getting better. I feel like it's getting a lot better. Whoops. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope it wasn't too all over the place for you. I hope that whatever you're doing, you'll find joy and peace and take time to take care of yourself, recognize your needs, and just be still. Be still. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I will talk to you soon. Bye. I'm back for a second. I wanted to mention that at the end of this video there is a 2 or 3 minute vlog if you're interested in seeing any of the things we've been doing around the house. So that's all. Bye. Welcome to my vlog for May. Meryl has been so happy the snow has melted and she's been able to get outside and eat grass. We've been taking walks down to the river almost daily. It's still chilly some days, but the water is just so clean and pretty, and it's been really relaxing to go down there and just take in the scenery and imagine what we're going to do to clean it up, because there's a lot of log jams on the river bend that we have to take a saw to and just get rid of some of the congestion. But it has been so pleasant. I found these really cool mushrooms on some of the trees on our property. I'm not sure what kind they are. If you know, please leave a comment. I am not good at mushroom identification. This tree had fallen and landed in the perfect spot. Joe and I were trying to build up this rock area that we could walk across so that we could get to the other side of the river and finish walking the property. But even after building it up, we realized that the river was just too wide and we couldn't make it across this time. Hopefully, though, next time, because I can't wait to show you what's over there. I have been having the best time making tree limb buttons. Joe cuts them out for me on the drop saw after I've found the fallen wood, and then prepared it. And then I drill holes in each button, 2 holes for this first batch. Once I finish the holes, then I usually take them to the back porch and do the sanding on them. This is what they look like before they are sanded, and this is what they look like after they're sanded and coated in beeswax. The next day, Joe cut me out a whole bunch more of these larger size buttons. This time I decided to sand them before I drilled the holes, and I had to put on a little wax just to see how they were going to look. I couldn't wait to see how the beeswax brought out the grain of the wood. It's just my favorite part of this, and did not disappoint. I like to rub the rest of the beeswax into my hands because it feels so good. I have to say the sanding is not my favorite part, and it's really hard on my hands in general. As always, Meryl was entertaining as I worked outside, and she decided to go into the little cabin and check for mice, and I'm sure she found at least one. I decided to make some bird feeders using pine cones, peanut butter, and black oil sunflower seeds. I hung 2 of them up, and the birds are really enjoying them. They've eaten most of the seeds off of this one. I keep Meryl inside anytime that I'm ground feeding, especially, or anytime the birds are really active during the day. So she just hangs out inside and sleeps most of the time. We've had some friends over to visit recently, and that's been so nice. Joe made a fire for us the other night because it was pretty chilly, and that was so enjoyable too. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps my channel.